That they are, yeah. I mean, that's the inaccurate assessment right there. They had a very, very tough matchup last night, and they managed to squeak out a win. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Now they need to parlay that into a qualification here today, and that's easier said than done because now they got to take on a team like TeamOne here, and we've already seen what they're capable of. I think both you and I were talking about this team being a revitalized versions of themselves, trying to build back what once was for this roster, and we'll see if they can bring that to the table here versus some of their toughest opposition so far in this qualifier.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for TeamOne, but the way they played last night, I have confidence in this roster for EG. They are up against their toughest competition too, so I don't know. I'm kind of scared for EG after seeing how they were up against Limitless last night, so we'll see if they're going to be able to weather the storm. They're on the CT side, though, to kick off Inferno, so at the very least, that is a plus. They're just going to sit here and have 3 players stacked in the right angles. Hex has the flashbangs, no kit for the EG side. One pair of dual Berettas. It's in the hands of Breeze. Nealon will get the opener onto Malbs. It's a big player to take down. Now the flashes come through, and TeamOne have to be careful not to get crunched because look where Breeze is going. He's already probing down all middle, and TeamOne's whole entire play is about to be figured out, and I like this rotation from Hex back to the A site. Really reading the game well right now, and he'll actually just stall out in middle of CT spawn, back up by the well, and back towards the B side. Breeze has heard the sound cues, though, and he can really shut all this down.
Yeah, this is a good positioning, right? This is why Hex didn't have to rotate back because they had Breeze in this position, and he finds a massive multi-kill. You got Sturk stepping up on the side as well, so about as easy as you like right there for Evil Geniuses. Make no trouble of closing that one down and giving them that first. That was a clean play, all things considered, right? You got the aggression up towards Banana, gathering a little bit of info, a very quick mid-round reaction from EG to try and force their hand towards that A side, and Hex needed to not jump the gun right there, right? He could have floated around for a little while longer, given the forward positioning towards A. So, EG coming right out the gates with all the map control in the world is a very good sign.
It's a really good time for EG to get that one on the board early on. Let's see if they can build some economy now. Really win a confident round. oNe-iDk going for a swing down Banana with the utility being thrown. Does a lot of damage onto Malbs, who has the one purchase here for TeamOne. That's a hero Deagle, no armor behind him. And now not much health either to work with. Smoke goes out towards top middle, and EG will just wait for the T's to come to them. No real reason to go too aggressive right now. Nice little nade, does a little bit of damage, and it's kind of just EG waiting for the inevitable pistols to rush them down. There's an extra rotation over, though. oNe-iDk is left. Nealon all alone towards Banana, and he's playing a very aggressive angle by Car. Has to be careful not to get overwhelmed, at least luckily for him. TeamOne do look poised to go back to the A site, and it's being read perfectly. Flashes there, and oNe-iDk doesn't even need that for the first. He'll get flashed in, though, and actually only good for one. Breeze trades it back, and Cirque up on top will combine with him. Actually, I was Breeze up on top of the flowers, and Cirque down at the lower angle. Back towards B, though. Nealon should be able to receive this well, and it should be a relatively clean round, just that one loss.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe things could have gotten sour right there if you found the kill, but Nealon able to hold steady there towards the B bomb site and make it through the round with relative ease here. Hopping into the first gun round, though, and immediately I draw my attention to Malbs not having an AK. Might be a bit problematic given his headshot percentage and his capabilities with the AK in hand, but we'll see if that ever comes into matter here. It's still a bit of a bonus. Double FAMAS and MP9 in the EG camp. Like what they're doing here early on, though. Going to stack over 3 mollies over towards that B bomb site. Maybe hold on to a little bit of utility late into the round. I say that, but immediately Nealon forces IDK right into his open arms and will nail the shot. Malbs getting naded down and forced off Banana as well, so trade potential just isn't there whatsoever. More utility following up, and they're kind of faking out a lot of presence here. Maybe if you're TeamOne, you're probably thinking there's 3 towards that B side. Maybe you want to start pressuring this A side a little quicker, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I feel like TeamOne look a little lost in this T side early on, though. They're kind of just putting a lot of early pressure towards Banana that's very predictable. And after they lose that first player, which has happened every single round so far, they end up going back towards the A site very predictably. There hasn't been really anything to mix things up here for TeamOne, and it almost feels like they're relying on an individual to get them the opening pick, and that is their whole entire game plan. X player, go pick somebody on Banana. That is our plan. That's not going to work against EG here. And, well, they do have car control now. About 35 seconds to go. There's no more Molotovs here on B, unfortunately, but they do have the extra rotation, and that brings the extra Molotov, the last one standing for the Evil Geniuses. That'll go out at the right time to burn more time off the clock. The smokes are coming in, and where's that Molotov from Cirque? There it goes. Is there a smoke? There is. Will they even try that? That's a chunky nade, too. And Cirque's about to just push on through the smoke. The Molotov burning pace it down very, very low. Automatic sitting back. Flashbang from Neela does so much damage, who does also get another kill. And the bomb's not going to be able to go down. Only one kill for TeamOne, as Cirque will mop up 2. And that's a nice, strong round against the full buy from TeamOne from Evil Geniuses. And for TeamOne, a disastrous round to a disastrous start. I'd almost want them to call a timeout going into their next purchase, because what they're doing right now is working about as effectively as trying to run a semi-trailer with a freaking moped engine. It is not working at all.
Yeah, a little bit sluggish when it comes to some of that map control, right? They're trying to grab some spots of the map there early, but they're getting met by some excellent utility usage and great rotations as well from Evil Geniuses. They're reading this offense quite nicely, all things considered, and it's forcing a lot of struggles here in the early days for TeamOne. Every single setup known to man being thrown at them early on as well. Look at this, another one of these triple porch setups that they've got going on here. They're ready to collapse in upon it as well. 3 players off the flashbang going to collapse, and this is the entries that you needed. This is the pace that you were hoping for if you're TeamOne, but still, Hex is the last man standing, and as effective as ever, he can play from the pit. He needs help, though, soon. They're starting to hone in on him. 1 kill from oNe-iDk coming quickly in rotation. Hex still alive. oNe-iDk's going to nail down 2 as well. Hoping for the trade. There's multikill, but they cannot find him. oNe-iDk picking right off where he left off yesterday on his domineering performance, and once again, dominating here in this matchup as well.
Yeah, Tim hit the 40 bomb in one round of overtime. So real good stuff from him, and another good start here. But it's not just oNe-iDk who's fragging out so far. Cirque is having some good performances, Neelan as well. Hext has killed the only guy he's seen, and Breeze still at a positive KD. Good 4-0 start for EG, but TeamOne now have the op for Maluki, and Malbs has the AK in hand. This is where he really becomes a dangerous player. He's going to go in a second in, but he's going to beat the op first. The nade will trade, but more nade damage coming back. Pace has chunked down to 9, and EG riding smooth. They might have that opening trade going 1-for-1, but that nade damage really does help them out moving down the stretch of this round. And a very confident start from the Evil Geniuses. Something that you want to see if you're an EG fan is how well they're just forcing TeamOne into these opening one-on-one duels where EG has the distinct advantage. And even going back to that last round, EG had played that double stack before the player porch, the player boosted up, and it was read by TeamOne, but they weren't able to get anything done after those initial couple of kills. So even if EG are losing a player or 2 here and there, they're still able to recover. Although they might have found a gap, TeamOne. They might have found something to exploit over towards B, where Cirque's the lone defender, although he will get some utility to give the call that there's going to be players coming his way.
Slank is being activated, though, so Cirque, all he needs to do right now is to stay alive. If he can find some damage, sure, that's great, but with the massive HP advantage that they've got going on, all they need to do is set up in these post plants. What is that from Cirque? He's just dropped the bomb here. There's 25 seconds left. He's nearly finding these straight through the smoke. It forces multikill off the line here towards Banana as well, so Pace, as he starts punching those numbers, this fast flank is coming off. oNe-iDk going to get a flash down perfectly to blind up multikill. He can do nothing. 1 HP right around the corner space, so he'll go down as well. This is so well played. Hex to find the finishing blow, and EG close out about as easy as can be as well, man, because of that play from Cirque, man. Dropping the bomb just creates so much chaos right there. He was alone on B, but he played it so perfectly. He gives up the space, he gives up control, and allows his teammates to come through in rotation. About as well played as it gets.
Yeah, Cirque with a really good, really smart play, hitting his shots too, which is a great sign to see. Back when EG were over on NRG and having those massive performances, Cirque was a huge part of that. So it's a good thing to see him at the top of the scoreboard right now. 8-4, actually 8-1. It's an 8.0 KD. I think he'll be quite happy with that. And TeamOne back with Malbs on a Galil. Is Malbs really the guy you want to be sacrificing firepower for utility?
Right now, if you're TeamOne, you need someone to get you activated here, but nothing you can do about that. Just straight to the smoke again with these domineering map control plays coming through on the B side. Look at this damage on the Malbs as well to kick things off. I mean, a kill and nearly 2 following up. They got more utility left to leave on B. So they're going to start walking into this trap towards the A side. Even an automatic starting to make his quick rotation over here. And it leaves so much to be desired for Team One. They're going to walk into a 4-man A lean. It's not going to look pretty for you either. That HE could catch him. Does some damage there, but it's all a bit of a bait and switch here for automatic. If he can draw presence, we'll maybe go uncleared in the cubby there for Hex, and it'll just set him up for success.
That would be an ultimate bait and switch here, and automatic's going to be tossing some utility. Hex is going to swing behind it, though, and he's going to get traded 1-for-1. Still retains the man advantage for Evil Geniuses. But now it's gone as Breeze tries to go around the hay cart. TRK is ready for it. Cirque's up on site, having to shotgun op now, and that smoke can allow Team One to really move around. Cirque's going to post up for the apps run, and Automatic's going to have his back out towards middle and wins the engagement against IDK. Cirque gets demolished, though, by Pesadillo. And TRK follows it up. It's all to Nealon on the rotation. This could be the first round for Team One, and it comes with some good, spicy shots from TRK and Pesa. But Nealon's not out of this one yet. There's a kit to be salvaged for him, maybe a little bit of utility as well. A Molotov to add to his smoke, and he's going to drop that for an AK, making the noise now, running around. TRK holding passively. The swing's going to come through surely from the side. That's a disgusting shot up on top of the boxes, though. It's Pesa to win it. And I thought Nealon had a chance, especially after that opener onto TRK. But finally, Team One get around to the board and off as well for Maluk to have. And maybe a little bit of confidence here. They're looking for 6. So we'll see if they're going to be able to get that gap closer if EG can keep this round isolated.
Bit of a surprising one right there as well. I feel like there was a lot of overextensions. EG kind of donating some opportunities there to Team One to actually get rounds on the board right there. Taking a lot of duels that are a bit unnecessary. I mean, the first one that we talked about right there was that play coming through from Hex. That bait and switch, it looked like it was set up so nicely, but then he tries to overstay, and 1-for-1 trade right there on one player with 1 HP is definitely not ideal. But right back to 1 HP, Malbs goes again. Familiar territory, and in fact, the nade's going to hone down on him. Oh my god, and Breeze even spams down for a second. This round over before it ever lifts off because we found all the kills necessary here. 5-on-2. Not a pretty sign to be in. Not a pretty start for this one to pick up the pieces.
Well, not for Team One. It's a very pretty start for EG. Hey, this is almost as good as you can get if you're EG. Where, yeah, you have a 5-0 start, very clean. You lose a round, and right afterwards, you put Team One back into the losing scenarios. Breeze will get the kill onto Maluk. He's just lurking out towards T-Apps. And then IDK is stuck with nothing he could really do, eating a little more chip and aid damage. And that was a little messy from Automatic, but he's going to finish the job in the end anyways. Flawless round from EG against the full guns of Team One, who might not go for a full investment. And 2 key players in their massive performance yesterday have fallen silent in this one. Both Malbs and Maluk at 0 kills, 7 rounds through.
Yeah, that's just such a terrifying prospect right there, right? I mean, this is the duo that we were talking about yesterday all day, man. It was the Maluk and Malbs show for the most part of Ancient, and not in easy fashion either, right? Op map, Ancient's not like the ideal op map, right? So the fact that he was having such a great game as well was such a massive factor. A great bit of utility being thrown out. Automatic's dead to rights right there. No escaping that position. So a great access point, a great entry into this round. Can they make anything of it, though? Rotations have arrived. In fact, 3 players joining up on this B side. And I like that right now Team One start to hit the brakes right there because the A side's so much more tantalizing. Only Cirque here with an op, holding off brackets, and soon to join him is Breeze. He'll help out in these positions. Even actually Hex joining up, but at the end of the day, they've got themselves a little 5-on-4 advantage, and maybe going back towards B is the ideal prospect.
It's definitely the right read, but they have really leaned heavily on this A site in these situations so far. And I think that's why EG are content to play the 3-1 as well. Also, they have confidence in Nealon's abilities individually, so they're going to leave him alone. Cirque's op will get smoked. He'll take a shot, reveal his presence, and just reset around the site, holding a little more passive angle towards the arch run. Moto smoke flies in as well, a flashbang prepped and ready to go. Malbs chucking that over as the take comes down the lane. Breeze on the site, sprays down 1 and has done a lot of damage on the second, finishes it up. Hext is here as well. Malbs only good for 1 as Hext will trade out Cirque. all down to Maluki now, moving in on the flank. Nealon's also flanking just the other direction, and through the smoke, Maluk shows, and Hext will put him down 7-1. And, might I say, an ironic scoreline for this matchup.
It is. Lovely work being put through from EG. You can see it's an actual team effort in this one as well, right? It's not just one man running the show right now for EG either. oNe-malbsMd's having himself a great game, sure, but I like the team effort that they're bringing to the table here. Everyone's stepping up to the plate. Everyone's had their impact and moments in this one, and so it's obviously going to be difficult for TeamOne if that's going to be the case. You got a full 5-man roster stepping up to the plate to take you on here, and again, this utility never ceases towards Banana. They're always pressuring it. They're always pushing down, trying to take as much control as possible. oNe-malbsMd down to 37, though, could be at least a alleviation of stress here. They have potential to grab that control back, but for the meantime, you're just going to stick Nealon to jump spot. He's got the ONS ready, and again, it comes down to how they force him off this position.
They're taking their sweet time. They haven't really made a commitment yet. They're slowly probing up car. They also have some presence in towards apartments and alt middle. And TeamOne really spread out the bomb down as well. We'll see where that decides to lean, but I have a feeling it's going to go towards B. Yeah, Maluk's going to pick that up, drop it towards bottom Banana, and then move closer towards B, but Hext is coming here on the timely rotation. Nealon's going hunting, though, and he's going to get caught. His leg doesn't show. Malbs will win that duel regardless. Takes a ding through the wall. At least Hext is already there for EG to try and stall, but all he has to stall is a flashbang. In fact, that's all anybody on Evil Geniuses has. 3 across the 4 remaining players. A nade is prepped and ready to go, but so is Hext. He's behind the smoke. A flash goes in. He's going to get one blind, but TRK is going to run him down in water. Bomb's going to go down 4v3 to favor TeamOne as the time ticks just about to the 20-second mark. Then, there we go. 20 seconds of the clock. The bomb will go down for TRK and TeamOne. Breeze will take a little bit of chip damage from that nade, and EG thinking about not even going for this retake as the 2 A players have not budged at all. oNe-malbsMd very low, and Cirque with the op. No real retake utility. Not a terrible idea for EG. Their money's not in the best of spots either, so it's a respectable save, especially considering they're already up 7-1 now, 7-2.
I can't lie. Retakes on Inferno are never fun, right? So
No.
you can not blame EG for, despite having so much money in reserve right now, calling this one a save, because you likely know the end result, especially with those post plants that TeamOne were working with, and only one flashbang really for a retake utility. It's hard to blame them, but still, TeamOne, they need to parlay that success into future rounds here. They need to get Maluk activated on the op, because so far he's been stuck on the big old 0 at the moment, and if they can maybe have those 2 factors become true, if they can, win one more of these rounds here, they'll be right back in this half and actually could punch back at EG, maybe slow down some of that momentum that they've got going for them, force a little bit of respect on their name by counteracting some of this utility that's thrown at them constantly, and that's when we can start to see TeamOne punch back here just a little bit, and that's what we need to see out of this team, because that's what we got to see out of them yesterday. Go with the qualifier.
One more best of 3 to qualify. Nealon's just spamming mobs through the smoke. That's not the first or second time he's died to something similar to that. I think that's the 3rd time, if not 4, mobs has just been taken out of a round by a spam or an early spray. And he is the antithesis of the player you want to be going down early if you are TeamOne. You need him to be the tip of your spear. You need him to be the guy who's really gaining you space, giving you ground. IDK gonna get flashed in, and a blind oNe-malbsMd is going to get taken down, but he does a considerable amount of damage to the TeamOne rifler. Nealon's rotating in, though. He's around in towards arches and making his way towards library to try and silence this push. But now it seems that there's going to be a fadeaway back towards B, and Cirque's posted up towards top Banana. He's got the op in hand, and he's ready to nail some shots as they come around the corner. And there's the first easy pickings for Cirque. He'll just back away through corner, toss a flash, and take a more passive angle. And I really like this play. He's not... Oh, he does go back for it. And that is exactly the opposite of what I was going to say. I like how he's just backing away as the rotation coming through. He doesn't need to overextend. He doesn't need to lose that op. Doesn't need to lose that fight. But he had the confidence. Gets taken down. The Maluk was ready for that, and that Molotov could buy time for a plant. Although I think that Nealon's gone above it. That's a quick scope from Maluki, though. And the spam from Breeze doesn't bring him down. Bomb planted into a 2v2. Op is the low HP player, and that is a big bonus for TeamOne. Hex, does he clear out right? He spotted a shadow. That's huge. All down to Maluk now, the in-game leader for TeamOne in a 1v2. Hits the leg shot. It's down to Breeze. Clearing, he knows where the op is. He has a little bit of time to work with, though. He doesn't need to take the fight yet, but it's a 4K from Maluk, who wins the round for TeamOne. And what a round, a hero play from the in-game leader.
I mean, that's just exactly what I said needed to happen right there for TeamOne to actually punch back into this half. It's the first 4 kills that he actually finds in this round. It was bailing TeamOne out of what could have been a very easy closer for EG. If Maluk hadn't stepped up there to find that opening pick onto Cirque towards the B side, that's when you know, that round just shuts down, right? If Cirque finds another kill right there, you're talking a 5-on-2 or 4-on-2 at the very best, and EG just close that every day of the week right there. But instead, he finds that pick onto Cirque. It opens up that B bomb site just enough for Maluk to start taking so many different fights, and that's just brilliant work. That's exactly what he needed to do right there, and look where it leaves EG off at. We talk about the utility being so influential in this matchup. They're going to be limited on that, and I actually like that they're going for a little bit of a safe half buy here because they are prioritizing that. They know how much utility has mattered so far in the early round. So in this occasion, even though they have a couple players on 4K, they're just going to go for a save.
Yeah, I like the decision too, especially economically speaking. That's a nasty shot from Maluk, though. Doesn't need the headshot, but he goes for the overkill. Good bit of work there from the Op and IGL from TeamOne. The scouts toss back to Automatic. He'll give a deagle over to Hex. He's a pretty dangerous player to hold on to that hand cannon. But Automatic going back to his opping days, perhaps, with the big old scout. Maluk watches for the flank, though. Nealon, he sticks his neck out a little bit too far. Pesa with another, but Hex with a deagle drops the bomb, and he's got a chance to reposition around in pit too. Definitely going to give him a little bit more room. Breeze is peeking out a balcony as well, trying to take the fights with the 5-7. He gets taken down, but Hex hits another headshot, looking for the next. The nade should finish him off, though. The damage and then the nade to finish it off. Touchdown onto Hex, and a third in a row for TeamOne, a fourth in overall. They're starting to really heat up, and EG have kind of let TeamOne in with that round where they kind of went a little too over-aggressive in a man advantage situation, giving that B site up. Danger zone territory, not quite yet for EG, but definitely starting to get to that point, because Maluk's heating up immensely. Malbs hasn't even really activated yet, and that's when things get real scary for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah. What I will say is they've actually done a great job of keeping Malbs limited so far. I think that's kind of based on some, tendency recognition, because they know exactly what Malbs like to do towards Banana. They've been spamming him down so very well, and this time, Nealon playing right around the smoke. Flashes look like they were on the money, but Malbs making an extremely bold play right there and gets punished for it. That's a great pickup, but Nealon actually dropped his gun, I think, trying to get the AK, so he's on a USP for now. Bit unfortunate, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, you're rocking with a man advantage. So you'll take what you can get, especially at a man advantage on the Malbs.
Yeah, that was just a weird engagement over on Car for both players involved, and Nealon only has a USP. What? Did he try to swap to the AK and not pick that up and just get stuck with nothing? Yeah,
he dropped it. It was looking flashy, but it just unfortunately didn't hit the finish.
That's awkward.
Grabbing the actual AK. Bit unfortunate. But again, it's a pick on the Malbs, right? It's kind of a worthy trade at the end of the day. Maybe Nealon can play distraction game. You definitely like him on a rifle here. But good news for EG is they've actually brought in another rotator towards the speed bomb site. And now you're taking a look at the clock. It's 30 seconds left. And so TeamOne, their hands being forced. They have no one towards this A side lurking about. So at the moment, they have to walk into this. They have to commit to this A side here. And like you said, not a lot of deterrence, but the utility is great from TeamOne.
Cirque hits the first shot blind, though, and he's going to be going back for more. Automatic has stood tall as well. Cirque with a second, but IDK is trying to bring this back. Time in the red, no bomb on his back. He sprays away. He's taking the fights. He's not going for the plant, and that means the round is done and dusted. So is he, and EG will secure the half. Very solid performance to get that round from Cirque and Automatic, and that gives EG that confidence to stand on once again. Things were looking really good for TeamOne, but they walked into the Lion's Den and they got shut in. They were not able to get out. They weren't able to fight their way through. And Cirque, a big part of that, just playing passive around the coffins, preparing some for TeamOne, who are able to buy up here, but this is going to bring them to the end of their economy. No bomb plant means going into round 14, they are going to be pretty darn broke, and their round 15 buy might not even be that good. So a lot hinges on this round for TeamOne's half chances, and their half here kind of makes a lot of impact.
Can't escape. That's
Why,
bomb.
why does he go first with the bomb?
I don't know. He got locked in with the molly, but still, that's just a massive gimme right there. Still, there's no rotates just yet, and TeamOne have taken massive damage. They're just committed to this, and I think they almost have to at this point. Again, you have one A-lurk, but he hasn't grabbed much space, so the prospects of actually going back towards that A side and trying to reclaim map control, trying to reclaim this bracket side is going to be near impossible for what Evil Geniuses are currently working with right now. They have such a strong setup, and TeamOne have done absolutely nothing so far to actually crack through it. They have one smoke, rather two smokes, one molly, but Malbs is just now starting to make his way through. And again, you take a look at that timer. Now they only have 50 seconds left.
They've really liked burning down this clock, but it hasn't worked out too well for them when they have. Most of their successes have come off of aggressive peaks from Evil Geniuses, which have not really come through. And TeamOne are going in for what appears to be a Halls Pop sans a flash. So kind of the most important part of a Halls Pop is not there for TeamOne. The rotation went over to B, though, for whatever reason. EG taking a lot of gamble rotations and out into the open. Automatic swings, but it's Hexed and Breeze to get a pair. But now they've both finished. They've both fallen. And the bomb's going to be able to be recovered here for TeamOne, who are realizing now that the site is wide open and that they just got a massive break. Bomb's going to go down. They have a Molotov in hand as well. Malbs has to stand up tall, though. Maluki does not have his op in hand. So a lot rests on the Guatemalan rifler. Maluk goes back, and he is gone. All down to Malbs now in a 1v3. His Molotov expended. His life is now in the balance. He sprays away for the first. He goes with the ops as well. They're completely chicken on him. One tap! But the nice repeat comes in from Cirque to save the day. But scary times for EG as Malbs appears to be back in action. That was vintage Malbs right there. The confidence to hit that one tap. He narrowly missed out on pulling that one back for TeamOne.
I mean, honestly, I'll just be straight up. Those are rounds that only Malbs could win, man. The guy makes rounds like that feel so possible. Look where he positions himself in that as well, but hones in on every correct angle known to man. He had everyone down to rights, and all he needed was an extra second to take care of Cirque right there. So he made things scary, and maybe that gives him a little bit of confidence so far, because in the early attempts, I'll be honest, Malbs hasn't been doing too much, right? He's been going for constant opening picks, but hasn't been actually hitting the punches, so.
Nope. He's
rounds
been
like
getting
that.
punched.
Maybe you can build some confidence here. There's a nice start. Easy as you like on a breeze. Just a simple one tap there, no head Kevlar. Sec 9 doing him justice. And that's a start that they much so needed. Finally, an opening pick from Malbs delivered.
And a rifle upgrade, too. And another confident aim tool taken by Malbs, which means it looks like he's finally warmed up. If TeamOne are able to scrape 6 rounds out of this half, they definitely have a much better chance of being able to take this best of 1. Because again, it's not a best of 3 here, folks. It's just a best of 1. The best of 3s are to qualify. Nealon's all the way down Banana, though. IDK trades him out nicely.
That's gotta be a fast B play.
Yeah, it has to be a fast rotate to B. They know exactly what's happening, and exactly what's going to happen is a sprint towards B from both sides. Will IDK get there before Automatic? He's slowing it down. Automatic smoked off, but will he go through? He is. He's making noise. IDK not watching for it, though. And Pace has been caught on the rotation through arches. TeamOne took too long. They took too long to make their move. And now they're about to be punished. Automatic with the spray does a little bit of chip damage on the TRK bomb. Going to go down to the very least for TeamOne. But 10 rounds looking very likely now as Automatic pushes back for more. Hat trick on the round. Headshot coming in again. And EG, thanks to Automatic, are going to be able to put another one on the board. Grab double digits here. And maybe even go for that 11-4 half, and what a half that would be, especially after that overtime, narrow overtime victory over Limitless last night. A huge confidence boost going into the best of 3 with a chance to qualify for the RMR.
Yeah, no, it would be a very solid half. The issue is, I'm gonna be honest, this team hasn't shown the greatest T-sides. I think they've been improving with a couple of those changes, and I think that Nealon has brought in a little bit of life to these T-sides. For Evil Geniuses over the long run, but they definitely have a lot to work on in the grand scheme of things. So Definitely want to grab this 11-4 half if you're evil geniuses, because it's haunted them once before, not giving themselves enough room to work with here. Can land Nealon just tracing Malbs through the smoke every single round. It seems the guy has these smoke spams on the money. They want to push down more here. Another kill going forward here from Breeze. Gonna toss that up out of play, and they're pressuring already up towards the lane side of things. Has found the opener there. Breeze gonna keep things nice and steady. Has help from Hex as well, and Luke, I don't know if he can really say anything about this one. He's already found a decent little clutch, but this one's too much to ask.
Well, yeah, it is. I was gonna say, if he gets one, he can find another isolated duel, and maybe it won't be too much to ask anymore, but an 11-4 half, this is a little too much to ask for a comeback here from TeamOne at this point, especially if they lose the pistol. EG, with all the control they could desire now, they have this game in the palm of their hand. They just have to do their job and win 5 rounds on this T side, which theoretically should be doable. TeamOne, though, if they can get Malbs activated on the CT side, if they can get Maluk the op early, they can definitely close this gap very quickly. So EG, they cannot really rest too comfortably just yet, despite having this 11-4 scoreline, the 7-round lead. It's not over at all, especially considering how much TeamOne has gotten better in the last few weeks, and it feels like TeamOne's starting to get back to that peak point where they were a very dangerous team in this region. So if TeamOne are going to be able to take more steps towards that eventual form, EG cannot sleep. They cannot lapse. They cannot let TeamOne hang around.
Yeah, they didn't give themselves much room for error right now in this T side so far, but they can work with it, right? I will say pistol probably required.
Oh, yeah.
To give them a decent chance at actually getting back into this game, but if they can convert that, if they can get the ball moving quickly here in this second half, then again, EG have historically been struggling on this T side for, you know, the past couple of years for the most part. Again, I've seen a lot of improvement, at least during their stint in Blast. They showed improvement decently there, but it's a long time to try and, you know, slot in new IGLs into the system. Of course, slot in Hex as well, who can be very deadly on the T side. It takes work. We'll see if they can bring all that energy to try and close out here. This isn't even the last hurdle, right? I will say TeamOne probably one of the more difficult competition that you're going to be taking on, but you got a best of 3 rate after this to actually qualify, so step by step, EG looking to make it. But TeamOne the same. Looks like a little bit of a Hulse pop right now, given the current positioning, though. There's a flash on Nealon, so toss that in. He's well prepped and positioned to do so.
They're slowing this one down, though. They're waiting for the probe, I think, towards B from Breeze before activating the Hulse pop. And if Breeze is able to get something out of this, it would be absolutely huge. He doesn't get taken down by Malbs. Neither player really does much in that engagement, which I guess is a bonus for evil geniuses. But now the jig is up. The play has to be no, but automatic and Cirque with a couple of quick headshots on the Glock. Malbs will get the lurk, but what does that matter? The A side is swarming with evil geniuses players. The bomb is going to go down, and TeamOne are on the outside looking in at one of the most difficult sites to retake in this game. Maluk is hanging around towards arches, waiting for reinforcements to come through, and look at Leland's positioning in towards halls, in towards apartments, just waiting and seeing if anyone comes that direction. They know halls is clear now. They know there's players up lane, and Hex has denied one's entry. That's Malbs. Pace has sneaked onto the site. He's going to try and get something done. He's already taken down one, but automatic and Nealon with the last 2 clean headshots to clean this one up, and the pistol round that TeamOne necessarily needed and definitely needed, and doesn't go their way, not even close. The bomb plant going down is already a bit of a torpedo to that entire comeback attempt, and EG, a great response after last night, which I'm sure they were very disappointed with, and looking very, very good heading into the BO3s.
Yeah, this would be a rough way to exit here for TeamOne. But of course, I mean, this is the competition you're dealt. 8 stack. Oh, it doesn't land on Nealon. He actually tucks in towards the logs, so he'll be nice and healthy. But this this force buy is kind of putting all your eggs in this basket. You gotta convert off the back of this, right? This has to be the start of something on your CT side. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna have 13 rounds. Close this one out for EG. And then like a USP round is going to be what you're bringing into round number 18, which would give EG just all the dominance that they need to try and close this map out. So it's so much pressure applied. A little boost here. We'll see if Malbs is good for it. Oh, but they drop off. They misassemble it right there. So now Malbs finds an opening pick right there. Falls out. He knows he's good with the deagle. So with that man advantage, they maintain a nice bit of comfort here. But a quick transition from EG and towards the A side here. They're going to beat the rotation.
EG pumping the brakes again. Stalling out.
So far forward, look at this. He's right at the hay bales.
Yeah, that's true. But is he going to get the opening pick on IDK? He spotted him out, but he reveals his positioning now that the smokes were in. He's going to mow down one, but the trade is right there. TRK fell, though, and the bomb's going to be able to be planted. It's a bit of a safe plant for EG, and they do have two players very low on health, which makes them vulnerable. And Automatic gets tagged by the scout of Maluk as well. Pesadillo and Maluk Malbs can definitely pull this one back. They don't have a kit, though, which does mean time is of the essence for the CT side. But EG, they have a player in every different angle. And this is what makes the A-site retake so dangerous, isn't it? Where there's so many different angles you have to clear. They don't fully clear out Boiler and Halls, and Automatic's got the backstab. He sprays down one. And then it's all down to Malbs running forward. He can't get out. He's dead either way he goes. Hex with a double flash assist. Automatic with a 3K. EG with 13 and 3 away from 16, putting this one in the bag and going on to play in the last match. They need to really qualify for the RMR potentially. A best of 3 remains between the winner of this one and the RMR. And whoever loses is going to have to try again in the next episode. Third qualifier, third and final in a qualifier. Double Deegs for TeamOne, USPs on the rest, a flashbang for Pesa. And time running out for the Brazilian squad. EG getting ready to punch their ticket into the BO3 stages. Nealon entering up and not quite getting the opening. I like how they don't full commit to this, though. And that's a nice opening there from Cert. But, whoo, Malbs, this is a disgusting one. Gets a little more damage onto Hex, too. But for all intents and purposes, this round has to be EG's.
It does. Breeze is in for a fun little time here dealing with some USPs. Doesn't get any better than that. Take a couple heads off. But Malbs will need the one stepping up here in this round, and seems like they're stunningly aware of Luke's position despite him kind of slipping the net here. We'll see if he can find an exit. But at the end of the day, like you said, I think you're kind of turning your eyes towards this future qualifier for TeamOne, right? You know, you won't have to deal with the ATKs and EGs in this next qualifier, so maybe that's promising for TeamOne here, but still, it makes all the more pressure applied. Right now, you drop this this map, you know that there's another qualifier. But after this, that's just not the case. Your life's on the line here to try and make it into the RMR.
Yeah, the less times you have to play the RMR, the better.
Yeah.
Obviously,
that's fair assessment.
For Gaming or X Gaming Squirtle Squad now, and who the heck is the other team I'm drawing a blank on that made it through? Complexity. I forgot they had to play the... Oh, there's a team kill from Cirque, actually. So, hold up. It's still a disadvantage for Evil Geniuses, as Cirque's shooting everything that moves, including his teammates. TRK will capitalize on Automatic and a little exposed out towards brackets. And Breeze is getting naded out and towards Halls. IDK spams him down, all down to Cirque, who walks into the crosshair Pesadillo. And 5th on the board for TeamOne, which is not bad at all considering how things went. And they get a bit of a gift from Cirque, who is murking his own teammates. But other than that, TeamOne won their fights. They got peaked 1 by 1, and it's about as easy of a CT round as you're going to get. Going back to that complexity thing, though, you don't...
Yeah.
For EG, TeamOne, and everybody else playing in this qualifier, they don't have to deal with the Squirtle squads and the complexities now. And... The same could be said. Yeah, it's not going to be the EGs and the ATKs most likely going into the third and final. But that just means it's going to be more of a brawl, too. And in the BO1s, literally anything can happen. Anything that goes wrong can send you home. And that almost happened to EG last night.
Yeah. I don't at all want to say that TeamOne are like a lock-in right now either, because like you said, anything can happen in these best of ones. EG almost found that out the hard way. But at this point, you know, if I do see EG close at this best one, I'm gonna say that they're probably gonna be qualifying, right? The competition
Yeah.
lessens in the best of 3 format is gonna be extremely difficult to upset EG with the caliber that they're bringing to the table.
And it looks
But
like it's going to be B-Hop, too, playing against them.
yeah,
They're up
see that,
14-8 right now.
yeah. Still, B-Hop, they bring a good rush to the table. There's no diss on them, right? But it's just like
No.
another caliber, of course. So not having to deal with maybe playing that third qualifier would be massive. They're gonna have to beat TeamOne though here first and close this round out. They can start to make a case for a little bit of resurgent, but still, it's gonna be 10 in a row required, and they're gonna pop out of halls here once again. No resistance on this A side. They've gotten pick control. They're starting to make their move, and that's such a disgusting shot from Breeze. One more around the corner, traded out. Looks like they're gonna close this one out here on a very limited buy. It's an A side retake, and look at the interest from MalbsMd. Absolutely no interest. And that is just a massive question mark to me. Look at the setup that they have towards Arch with a minute left on the clock. They have 2 players in that position. I feel like 9 times out of 10, you're seeing teams with at least 1 player in pit this late into a round. But they had none of that, and so a Hulse pop was just what the doctor ordered for EG to exploit that defense.
I mean, that Deagle shot from Breeze helps out a lot, too.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
was
it can't hurt.
disgusting. But
Definitely can't hurt.
no. Look at that D-Lord just sitting on the ground. Can't do anything with that now. Hex is going to get rid of that. He's going to toss that out of the map.
Yeah.
Always happens. Somebody dies nowadays in the bomb radius. I love the bomb radius changes. It makes Inferno so much more fun, doesn't it?
I don't know, man. It's
It was a
that
slash
update.
S.
That update, it came out so long ago, man. It's like it still catches players off guard, though. And I know X is plugging, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I know he's played a fair few maps on Inferno so far.
Last
Can't blame
chance
them,
for
though.
TeamOne. They can't lose or else they're done. EG looking to really make this one clean. A 16-5 would be a phenomenal result going into the BO3 stages. And already they have brackets control, a lot of brackets control at that. And TeamOne are just falling back very, very passively. They've also spent most of their utility. Well, same could be said for EG here. But no opening picks either side just yet. Maluk's in a bit of an awkward spot, though. He can go down very easily with no support. Malbs is running in. He does have a flashbang. And now 4 towards the A side from TeamOne. EG. Not seeing anything. Starting to spread back a little bit more. Smoke going in towards Library. Flash over in towards Arches, perhaps being prepped. This double up, though. This could be a little dangerous for EG, and the shots just go out a little prematurely. And EG don't get caught in the trap. Instead, they're going to book it back towards B. Perfect read. Never mind. They're going to commit towards A.
They're trying to make this wrap happen. I'm surprised that they are committing so much towards this A side, given the presence that they just spotted out towards Arch. Right now, you got a lot of ground being taken towards Hex on that B side as well. He's all the way pushed in towards it, but as he goes down, that so does your chance to go to that site here. Maluka gonna peek out as well, and so this round starts to go south quickly here for EG. Site defense offered from IDK, just needs one more. Flash is good, but Breeze cannot get those numbers punched in. So there is at least a little bit of extra for TeamOne, maybe some confidence building rounds, but I won't start to believe in this comeback here until maybe they hit double digits or so.
We'll see. Maybe Breeze can land another deadly deagle or two. Would be nice to see. He goes for that, so we'll see if he can add another 1 or 2 to his tallies. Deagles on all 5 for Evil Geniuses. It is about as good of a deco as you can get. A little bit of armor purchased up for a couple of players. Hex will be on a Galil, presumably, into the next round if they don't win this one, which they shouldn't, realistically. And EG are just going to take some shots around, ambulate around the map, look for some picks, look for some style points. Win a couple hearts, you know.
Breeze certainly won my heart in that round 2 rounds ago with the deagle shot. It's disgusting. Why not give him another chance here? I mean, this is kind of what EG have afforded themselves. They can go for a couple rounds like these before things have to get a little bit scary, before you have to start buckling down and calling Glock ecos and all that.
Yeah.
Especially on the T side. You just got so much money with loss bonus. But a nice opening pick right there from IDK. Breeze trying to trade things up. It's going to catch an HG instead. Trades given. Oh, here we go. That is so sick, man. What a shot in the flames as well. He's heating up with the Deagle, man. He's heating up as well in general. I'm liking some of the mechanics that we're getting out of that guy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a warm breeze nowadays.
Yeah. Just meeting every single molly though, unfortunately. Everywhere he goes, there's just a molly right in his face. There's nothing you can do.
He's quite literally heating up. In the hot seat.
Ooh, Hex has a flank though.
Oh yeah, he's gone all the way around through B. He could get the backstab on the Arches players.
Oh, surely they're aware of this, right?
There's no way.
Oh my god. Oh no, not like
Oh,
this.
no.
One more around the corner. He has to turn both directions. Pesa gonna land it though. That was massive, man. Because if Pesa goes down on 1 HP, that could have been the round following right behind it as well. But Pesa saving the day right there, and still, I mean, I feel like that's mission accomplished if you're EG. You did damage. You forced TeamOne to fear you in a round that you had no business even coming close in. So they're just gonna go right back at it once again, kind of a double save, and they'll get some pretty decent weaponry in the next.
I was kind of hoping they'd try and close it out with a Glock round, honestly, at this point. I've seen some Glock rounds work recently on this map, so
Just got one yesterday, didn't we? Or nearly.
It was a nearly Glock round, yeah. And, well, Malbs gets the opener, but there's Hex to return the favor. He's going to go forward, too, pick up an M4, but...
Oh my god.
Kuchlestein coming in from Pesa. That is... It's about as jump shot as you could get. Assassin sticker on the gun, on the Howl, and... I can see that. I believe it. Although, I don't know if that smoke's really going to make much of a distraction there, sir. You were heard to jump away. He was trying to make him think there was still somebody in logs, but... Nothing coming from that in this 4v3. Arm shows, double stack over to his car, spray down, and all done to Breeze, but you never know. Okay, nothing. Doesn't look the right way. 50-50 on that one.
Victory bell is ringing right there for Pesa, man. Usually, like, I can excuse a jumping A1, but, like, jumping A4 is so bizarre.
That's almost
It's a whole
as
nother
bad as
level.
jumping AK.
Yeah, pretty much. That is brutal stuff. But here's where EGs, they do start to bring in the teeth to the purchase. They got all the utility, all of the rifles, the weaponry that they could ask for here, even an op and circ as well. So last time we brought it out, I think he got a team kill with it. It was a nice shot, but just on the wrong target. Utility raining down banana here, and EG kind of getting a taste of their own medicine here. A little bit less damage done through the smoke and no kills given, but they are bombarding this banana side of things. Now, Malbs has to be ready for this. Again, he's tested early. Needs another flashbang. It does come through well timed as well. Pesa bailing him out, and he gets out of dodge. So a massive start for TeamOne, but do they follow it up into a round converted?
That's a big question. And if they do win this one again and keep it relatively clean, I think the question is going to start to creep into the back of at least my mind. Is this comeback possible? Because TeamOne are starting to look comfortable. Then again, only one thing has to go wrong for them and they lose the round and they lose the game thereby. But the longer they are in this game, the longer they're able to stay alive, the more and more likely it becomes that the momentum, the tide can shift back into their favor. That's a good trade there by Breeze. Very late. Maluk just gets demolished. Well timed from Breeze, too. He's starting to click the heads. And that's a sight for sore eyes. The smoke's going to go out. And now they're going to go in towards the B side. There's still two players here, though. Another smoke to fade. And another one thrown towards coffins. Nobody's clearing out dark, but Malbs cleared out towards flower pots. Automatic makes him some fertilizer. And Pesa sitting in dark. We'll try and make things a little dark as time is in the red. 10 seconds on the clock, but Cirque has traded it back into a 1v2. Bomb needs to get stuck, and through the smoke comes IDK. Cirque has gone down, and IDK is swinging into the wide open areas. He's going to get to the up and not out of there alive. But despite getting all 5 kills, EG come up empty in terms of round count. That's one to bash your head against the wall for, though, just burning down that clock a little too much, and comes back to bite them. It gives TeamOne a 9th, and a Hero AK for Breeze, Deagles on the rest, well, P250s on 2, a 5, or a Tech 9 rather on Nealon, and a Deagle on Hexed.
Yeah, I mean, that's just clock management right there, coming back to bite them, but at the end of the day, they still made it extremely close, so it's actually going to force lacking utility, lacking weaponry to be brought to the table here from TeamOne, and with Nealon finding a quick trade there, quick 1-for-1, that's going to spread that defense super thin. There's not a lot of deterrence utility either. I mean, you can see that Pesa has a molly and a smoke still left, but that's all the deterrence that they have towards this B-bomb site. If at some point EG can bait that out, force it out of the hands of TeamOne, they're going to be walking into what could be a pretty deadly execute, but for now, you're going to drive it back in towards the safe side here. Going to reroute.
Smoke ready. Not being
Throw
thrown
that
just
towards
yet.
Moto.
Yeah. I think they're waiting for the Halls players to get ready for this pop. Yeah, smoke's going to go out now. They're going to peek before it, actually. Maluk's going to pick off automatic. What's the point of throwing the smoke if you're going to go before it, boys? And it's just going to be an easy mop-up for TeamOne. TRK actually missing a good chunk of the spray, taking quite a bit of damage. Drops the smoke of his own to try and reposition. Gets spammed down. Maluk's rotated around. The bomb will not go down to the open, but Breeze will. Zerk will get the plant at the very least, but not really much else. Jumps on top of the box, and he gets taken down. 10 rounds down the board for TeamOne, and this is a very, 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 very scary situation for Evil Geniuses. They had overtime last night. This one is getting closer and closer. This was once a 15-5, folks. This was once the classic, did we win? Of course not 15-5. It's now 15-10, and we have a timeout from Evil Geniuses.
It's getting a bit scary, isn't it? Right? I mean, I would start to believe once they hit double digits. I will say the rounds have been closer than expected, right? So, like, you're still expecting one of these rounds to eventually go in EG's way, right? One of these 1v1s, one of these side executes is going to start to swing their way. But if not, you know, if TeamOne can keep this up, if they can keep stringing things together, they'll be very quickly into overtime. And that's where you can start to fear for EG. They're still avoiding that fear so far, and this is full utility again, up in hands of Zerk. This is everything you could ask for in a buy like this. So if you're TeamOne, you gotta buckle down here and now. This is got to be flawless from them.
TRK tossing a smoke, but I think he's going to go a little fishy here. He's going to go through, and he's going to try and hunt somebody down. He's playing around the edge of that smoke quite dangerously, and he's not going to get taken down just yet. Breeze on the other side of it, and TRK is going to back away, take a lot of damage on the fade. Nealon doing a lot, but he's not able to get the opening pick for Evil Geniuses, something they would sorely need here, as things have not looked good for them in the last 5 rounds. EG very much stuck in their own spawn, too, still. 3 players back very deep with a passive apps and middle hold, like by the bench and just outside of apartments.
Trading a lot of utility for this control of banana, though, so far is Evil Geniuses here. A couple flashes to actually activate them to just grab that control, and yeah, that's great utility damage coming through as they fade on out. And I mean, one thing that I will say is we've seen EG kind of stick around in those situations. TeamOne, they fall off, especially with 35 seconds left. Why wouldn't you fall off? You haven't left a lot of time for your opposition to execute in upon you. You still have somewhat control of brackets. You've left Malbs here, who has been very sharp. He's going to mow down 2. Can he find himself a 3rd? Not quite, but he's done his damage necessary. 20 seconds left. Smoke down in towards the pit. This is exactly how you want to anchor things. Missed flashes coming forward as well. Struggling to actually activate into the site here, and with 10 seconds left, they are just folding. They're falling off, and TeamOne do convert.
This is ugly. This is really ugly. a save, a 3-man save on T side Inferno because you wasted too much time.
Oh, it's after time as well. Nealon can't go down here, but he will.
Oh boy. That... I'm getting speechless at this point, seeing this utter collapse. I'm watching this, wondering if I'm actually seeing what's happening right now. TeamOne are playing good Counter-Strike. Malbs is coming alive, but there's nobody really like stand out top of the scoreboard hero play right now that we've seen from TeamOne. It's just been everybody chiming in, kind of, oh hey, there's somebody here. I'm gonna go get my kill and stay alive, or I'm gonna get 2 here, go 2 for 1. Pretty basic stuff, nothing too special. Pace is gonna go over top though. He spots out 1, and the op's not gonna trade him. The op doesn't swing in time. Oh boy. EG, they had an opportunity to get a trade to scale forward with the pistols, and they don't come up with it. A big missed opportunity that can definitely cost them moving forward. And TeamOne are just going to keep on moving around, holding their angles, holding on to their utility, too. They have a good chunk of utility still left. No Molotovs, but plenty of nades, flashes, and smokes.
Oh.
That's a big miss by Cirque, too. Malbs was playing with fire, and he's able to get out of there alive, drop a smoke, and maybe even swing behind this and spray. But I think the tide has turned. The momentum, it's gone from EG. It's crested, and now they're in the trough. It's TeamOne at the top. And despite only needing 1 round, this one looks to be another round for TeamOne, just the way this is playing. EG looks so lost right now.
Yeah, maybe lost for answers at the moment. That's for sure. They're going to try their luck in towards a B-side execute here, but footsteps being heard, 25 on the clock, and they've set up so well. Malbs is going to find a kill here. Going to peek back for some extra as well. Getting flashed through the smoke. It's so perfect. They're going to line up for a 1-2 and not a third. Will be shut down eventually by Cirque's op, but the job's done. It's already finished here. Pace is going to strike from above. Grab himself an AK as his reward, and now 3 to close the distance, 3 to take us into extra innings here for TeamOne. They're starting to mount this very quickly. And like you said, EG just rocking with 0 momentum right now. They cannot seem to pick up the pieces from that first half here. Look at the buy that they're going to be bringing in. Again, Nealon going down after time is going to put him on a Tech 9. They're going for a half buy here, so 13 feels likely with how well CT-sided TeamOne has been so far.
Mac 10s, a Tech 9, an AK, and the aggression from Maluk is going to hit the wallbang shot. The nade to follow it up. We'll do a little bit of chip on automatic, and he'll take more flame damage as he jumps up onto the balcony. He's been hurt here, so surely they know that's another chunky boy going over top of house. And EG just getting naded into oblivion. Nice opening there from automatic. Capitalizes on a missed shot from TRK, but that's going to spur the rotations here. Maybe EG deciding to hop on the horse and gallop forward onto the site. Not taking their sweet time, but they're running into TRK, who shut down the first. Maluk's come through for another, automatic trying to be the hero yet again. He was the hero last night that saved the day, and he's picked himself up a third. Might even need to ace out here, but he has been removed. Hold down to Hex, and he is gone. 2 rounds now for overtime for TeamOne. What is going on now for EG? You have another timeout. You might as well use it because time is not on your side anymore. TeamOne are back. TeamOne are on fire, and the CT side can do no wrong here.
Oh, just locking things down so nicely. A massive round from IDK finding the 4K right there, because if he goes down on site, that could have been a 2v1 bow split that could have just ended all of TeamOne's chances right there. Maybe that sort of pace increase is actually going to encourage EG to keep up that aggression, but for now, they're just going to try and barrel down Banana, catching some flack with the utility here. Nothing too crazy taking place in the early stages here. Evil Geniuses are kind of hitting the brake. Chaotic round of the previous, and they want to make sure that they maintain a healthy little start to this round as well. But I mean, look at this, 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. They really don't have much to work with. They haven't moved a muscle here.
No, it's a slow round again, but the slower pace has really favored TeamOne. They've been able to really secure things. They're not panicking anymore. We saw a lot of panic fights, a lot of panic sprays from TeamOne on their T side. Here, once they've been able to slow things down on CT, they've been able to really be confident about their fights. They've been able to really be able to take the duels they need to take without overextending. There's also trade potential and crossfire setups usually in play. And they have nobody in pit here, which We'll see if it's going to be exploited by Evil Geniuses, but the double up on site is going to be very hard to get by, and Maluk's just going to rotate around back arches. He's giving this space up to EG, which is not a bad idea here. Pace is going to get taken down, though. Is this the round? Is this the moment? The B site's open, and Maluk's going to try and sprint back. The bomb's going to rotate, and look at the time. It's very, very low. IDK taking a lot of damage. Hexed over towards B. Maluk's going to get by, but the bomb has not gone down. The time. This is a winnable 1v5 for Maluk just by virtue of the clock alone, but the money is very low. Are they going to be able to pull it off? Is the in-game leader going to do it? One shot, needs another. He hits it, has to get a third, but he doesn't have time to rechamber. Cirque will save the day, and EG will not lose this one. It goes the full distance, or just about, though. Holy moly, EG made that one close. They like to bring up those the adrenaline. They like to bring this one close. Jeez, overtime, nigh overtime, but they're able to close it out and move into the best of threes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what matters most, right? EG do manage to close